Good morning, Crypto Wave investment crew and crypto fans. It's been an interesting 24 hours in the crypto economy. Bitcoin surging well over 8 grand, and some great news for the Crypto Wave investment crew getting into another ICO. We've done pretty well on that front, and obviously now that we're in, happy to let you know about that one. A little bit cheeky, I know, holding back that information till we assured our group got in, but we're in now, so yeah, good to see. Hey, Jace. What's going on? Jace first in. Surprise, surprise. We can announce the next coin Jace will be shilling. I suppose all of us that in the crew got into this, but it's Gladius. Gladius is a really, really interesting ICO that's coming up. We've actually got in at the private ICO level. We invested quite a substantial amount last night, 8 drinkers. So yeah, I was up late making sure that all the I's were dotted and the T's were crossed, and we got our investment in pre-ICO, well, in the pre-sale, the private pre-sale into Gladius. Further to that, I've created a group over on Telegram where I'm speaking to a couple of the Gladius core team about coming on the show to do a question and answer session with us. So that's pretty exciting for the Crypto Wave investment crew. Little Crypto Wave investment crew doing quite well, actually. So good to see. Yeah, Gladius is one really worth taking a look at. I'm not just saying that because we dumped a stack of Ether into it yesterday. I really think it's got potential. It was first brought to my attention by Jason, so he cops all the blame if this goes bad. No, I'm just kidding, Jace. Everyone who's invested is aware of the risks of investing. I made very sure that people were aware of the vesting period, that we will be forced to hold on to those coins. As a group of long-term investors, we're quite happy with that. A month is nothing to hold on to our coins, so I'm only joking, Jace. Everyone knows their own responsibility in investing, mate. That's we make that clear. Hey, we've got a young fella in with us as well, 21 years old. I believe this will be his first ICO investment, and he's gone in with like $100. So really cool. You know, he had the power of the group to help him get a 40% bonus on that $100. So I was happy to help him out. He seems really enthusiastic, really keen to learn. So good to have some young people in our group, really eager as well. Hey, Hourglass, Mark G, what's going on, guys? Yeah, so Gladius, well worth a look. Basically, core value proposition is to fight DDoS attacks. My best understanding of that is like attacks on servers. Jace was explaining a lot of the financials of it and how much it costs companies when they cop a DDoS attack. And then I started looking into the valuations of some of the market leaders in providing solutions to prevent DDoS attacks. And you're talking about Cloudflare being estimated in the $3 billion mark range, and the bigger one, I forget what it was called, estimated, or not estimated because it's a market cap of $11 billion. Jason believes that, and I've also been enthusiastic about this way of thinking, that blockchain does potentially provide better solutions in fighting DDoS attacks. So our group has put some capital behind the Gladius team. As I said, I was super impressed when I got over to Telegram and told them I was interested in investing. I didn't tell them how much. I didn't tell them we were looking at, you know, a substantial investment, and they were really helpful even before I mentioned that I had a YouTube channel and that they could come on and have a discussion. So I really like the team over there at Gladius that I've had to do with so far. Also the team, if you look at the core team, it's really solid. They've got some impressive people on board. I mean, if you go down like Jeremy Epstein, marketing advisor, he's a pretty big player. So there's some really some really interesting people on that team at Gladius. I think the objective is one that will help society, which is what I'm all about. Jace brought it to me, and Jace isn't going to like me saying this, but Jace is fairly conservative, not in terms of investment capital, in terms of he doesn't put his money into just anything. And he was very nervous about even bringing a suggestion to the group. So yeah, it's nice to see Jace coming in and bringing in what I think, you know, like I said, even if it fails, man, I always like to say it was a good idea. You know what I mean? Even if it fails. And I think that's how I feel about Gladius at the moment. Jace says Icon was his first ICO. Well, mate, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Hey, we haven't checked the ICO futures markets for a while. I haven't even checked them myself. Let's see what it's trading. As you guys know, I've already seen it as an indication of sort of possibilities. I've redone the valuations based on, yeah, it's around $1. I've redone the valuations based on the current run up in Neo. I've always been using Neo as a benchmark for Icon and believing that Icon is worthy of at least equivalent value at least once they develop a few dApps on top of it. So that puts it ridiculously high. Yeah, Jace just saying around $1 for last week. Our guy said, sold my power at 65 cents. Going to cop more when BTC hits 10K. Hey, I got a little tip going. I'll drop it on the Discord group later. It's probably only going to last briefly, but I'll drop it over. I've just done it myself, and I'll drop it over on the Discord. It's arbitrage. It's an arbitrage opportunity that I think some of our investors will be able to take based on the circumstances surrounding this opportunity. I don't want to give too much away. So, hey, Floyd, what's going on, man? Hey, Floyd, sorry about that 1 Ether, man. I had all that Ether come into the account, and I just needed to confirm the correct address to make sure that that was your 1 Ether. So glad we've done that. For those of you in the Gladius ICO, we do have a breakup Excel sheet of how much was invested per person and how much Gladius they're going to receive at the token distribution. Obviously, I'll be responsible for distributing the tokens after they're given to me in my account. Now, we did only receive the 500 base amount. We'll receive our bonus, I believe, at the end of the ICO period, or perhaps at the end of the vesting period. I'll check with the team. Something we can ask them. That's the great thing. They're coming on the show. Oh, you got to have a bit of a laugh, Floyd, but as you said, it almost gave you a heart attack. Almost gave me a heart attack, mate. I don't want anyone losing money. G'day, BB. How are you, man? Yeah, so Jace just said, I know where fish live, so I've no fear in doing a run. Mate, everyone knows where I live. I'm the border of Coolangatta, and Tweed Head's a kilometre from the beach. How far? There's not too many houses around. You ask around, you're going to know you're going to find out where fish lives. So, yeah, I was nervous though, transferring all that money for people, going in on that group investment. Being a computer noob, I must have checked the address 50 times. I even had a friend sitting there checking it as well, just to make sure. So, yeah. Yeah, Mark, it is nice to see. Mark's made a comment about Ether. They're breaking out after long sideways movement. It's been too cheap for a long time, man. I know that's easy to say with such confidence in hindsight, but to be fair, I put myself out there by calling what I see as too cheap on this show. And I've told you the prices that I've seen too cheap at this. You know, Wilkie only got into this is how fast the economy moves, guys. Wilkie would have got into the economy. You guys all know Wilkie now. He would have got into the economy 2 months to 10 weeks ago. And he bought Ether at $210. A big old bag to start off his ICO capital investing. So that's why the boys happy to jump in with our Ether investment. And thanks to, Grinkers and Wilkie. It's guys like that who make it possible for us smaller investors to actually, reap the rewards of the bigger players. So thanks guys for helping us out. And Ian got in there as well. Ian, thanks a lot. Late entry, but got in just in time, which bumped us up quite substantial investment. So good on you guys for, having the faith in the project, really having the balls to put your money where your mouth is, and helping out the crew in the process. So good on you guys. Well done. Mark, I'm on East Coast, man. East Coast, Gold Coast, New South Wales border. I'm in Tweed Heads, just next to Coolangatta. Very, very famous surfing area. The first round of the World Surfing League, well, I think they're actually going to change it, but it has been for a long time at Snapper Rocks, which is about a mile, 1.6 kilometres that way. So, yeah, it's a great spot, man. It's absolutely beautiful. It's actually bit miserable today, but even when it's miserable, we usually get some pretty good surf. The weather's always quite warm. Water temperature never drops much below 19 degrees. So yeah, it's a good spot to live, man. I like it around here. It's good. Pretty cruisy down this end of the coast too. Like if you get up to where I grew up in the central Gold Coast, you might have heard of Surfers Paradise and places like that. It's gotten too busy for me, too hectic. It was a sleepy little surf town when I was growing up there. So I moved down to the southern end of the coast. That's much more chilled. I like it. WTG there, crypto. Oh, hang on, Crypto Chronicus. I just bought BTG at $60. Sorry, I missed all this, man, because I was rambling on about where I live. Jay said Southern Goldie is the best. Yeah, he lives down this way as well. I just bought BTG, Bitcoin Gold, at $60 in China and sold it on Bittrex for 0.07 BTC. Ha, 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 ha. Crypto Chronicus, I did some arbitrage this morning as well. Got some extra coins. I'm going to tell you all about that after this stream because actually, it's only the 8 of you on here. Does anyone hold PIVX in Cryptopia? Because there's an arbitrage opportunity. If you're actually holding the PIVX already in Cryptopia, the Cryptopia wallet is under maintenance. That's nothing to do with the PIVX core wallet. We're fine. Cryptopia's personal core wallet for PIVX is under maintenance. They're probably doing an upgrade or something. Anyway, point is that there's buy orders set a good 10% higher than the actual market price. So what I did is I had, you know, you guys know me, I played the Litecoin trade on Cryptopia. So I had some PIVX on there, not a whole lot because I never hold a lot on the exchange. But what I did have, I dumped into that buy order, which was way too high, even for PIVX. I moved that Bitcoin into Litecoin. I moved the Litecoin over to Bittrex, where I bought the PIVX for. Then I traded the Litecoin into Bitcoin and then Bitcoin into PIVX. So I was actually able to buy an extra 10% of PIVX. I only had 30 in there, but hey, made 3 PIVX, and you know it was a good experiment for me to see how long it takes for Litecoin to clear in the exchange at Bittrex and things like that. So, you know, it took me about half an hour and I got 3 PIVX, and that sounds a lot of work for $10, fish. But you know, I'm going to hodl at 3 PIVX, and one day hopefully it'll be $20. So it's half an hour for $60, which is okay. Mark G just said, just checking BTG prices all over the place. Wilkie was literally at one stage making 4 figures a day just doing arbitrage. He was moving coins from one exchange to another. He said he'd come back and the orders were there again and he'd just do it again. So it's an interesting way to make money if you want to be labor intensive. I don't usually do it too much, but when I saw the opportunity to get a few extra PIVX, I thought, hey, why not? It's cheap already and I can accumulate more. So yeah, it's a good way. If you know what you're doing, you got to make sure the spreads are there. You got to take into account this, you know, the cost of actually making the trade, the cost of moving the money through the economy. And you've got several trades to make if you did it the way I did. So there has to be a 10% spread. There is at the moment, last time I checked on Cryptopia. Check it out for yourself. But you'd already have to have the PIVX on the exchange because their wallet's under maintenance. You can't move more into it. So yeah, I mean, I was ready to do my whole lot and then buy it straight back and get 10% more. Would have been nice, but I only had like 30 odd PIVX on the exchange, so I just did it with that, but picked up a few extra, so all good. You got to keep an eye out for those opportunities. I think it's a good idea. All eyes on Alex. How you going, man? I haven't seen you in the chat before. Asking about Neo. There's a couple of our investment group, All Eyes on Alex, that do keep a close eye on Neo. I'm not necessarily one of them. Wilkie's one of our guys, and Hourglass. Hourglass, are you in the chat at the moment, bro? Just seeing if you've caught up on any news on Neo. I hadn't seen any myself. I'd taken a look at a couple of other things. One of the things I was reading about is Bitcoin shorts coming into the economy, which is really important. We'll get onto that in a second. But Neo, news out of China, man. The only whispers I heard were yesterday, and they were just whispers. I can't confirm these. These are just rumors that China are looking to are looking to lift the ban or lift the restrictions on ICOs. So obviously that would be a positive step for now. Floyd said nothing new on now that he's heard. Mark. Yeah, man. Mark just said, I tried arbitrage on BCH a few. What are you even doing touching that stuff? Mark said, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. I tried arbitrage on BCH a few days ago, but it took 19 hours to move from Bittrex to Kraken. I've heard Kraken is ridiculous like that, man. Bittrex is pretty good. I just moved from Cryptopia to Bittrex. It took about 15 minutes. Not too bad. If you're looking at 10%, it's rare for it to take an upturn that quickly. So there's some more news on Neo. So thanks for that. Sorry for the newbie who came in and asked the question. I forgot your name already. But Hourglass has said Neo is going on to BitThumb on Tuesday or Thursday. Thanks, Hourglass. You sure you're not just making that up to shield the coin that you're holding? No, it's looking good. You know, you got to keep an eye on that price as well. Can I tell you that there's an interesting ICO coming up, right? And they've got a fixed rate of 1 Ether equals 10 Neo in terms of purchasing this other coin at the ICO. Again, I won't mention the name yet because it hasn't released yet and I want in. But my point is that if the Neo to Ethereum ratio drops below 10 to 1, I will buy Neo simply because I want, you know, I want that ICO. So that makes sense to me, depending on the relative prices of both of them. But yeah, I think that's my plan. If it drops below that, I pretty much guarantee myself gains on the Ether Neo trade because I'm going to get 10 to 1. So yeah, that's one of my plans that I'm going for. You've got to keep an eye on opportunities like that, guys. And one of the opportunities I'm thinking a lot about at the moment, just to let you know, is the Komodo Monese thing. I've been slowly stocking up on that Komodo even as it runs up because I think Monese is going to be solid, and they're going to give 2 weeks notice. Like there are a lot of people. This is the thing. A lot of people are coming out and going, "Oh, we're not going to have time to buy a Komodo before the Monese ICO, so you got to tell us when it is." And the Komodo team, or it might have been a Monese team, but they came out and said, "Look, we'll give you 2 weeks notice." So there are people craving entering that Monese ICO, and I can certainly see why. Similar to Icon, they've got a lot of real world business connections, contacts, and work done prior to just launching a white paper. So for me, I'm not going to say this is as good as Icon, but I think Monese got real promise. Watching and waiting on those confirmations can be a killer. Yeah, man, for sure. Hourglass said, laughing my ass off. No, very hard rumors out there, but no news on the actual project. Just more volume coming into BitThumb. Huge Asian exchange, if not the biggest. Crypto Chronicus said, I can't deposit anything into BTC anymore. Maybe too much traffic because those BTG were selling for 20 to 50% above market price. That's going to cause volume for the savvy investors who keep an eye on that sort of thing. Crypto Chronicus was over on BitThumb before looking for arbitrage opportunities. It's worth keeping an eye out for. It's labor intensive, but if I can get a quick 10% swing, I'm going to do it. In this case, yeah, you did have to have your coins on that exchange with PIVX. I'm just going to check now and see if that exchange is open up. Look, I'll show you what I mean, guys. This is an example. Okay. Hopefully it's still there and I can bring it up and show you. The PIVX wallet is still under maintenance, which means no one can get coins onto there to take advantage of this arbitrage opportunity. So if you've already got coins on there, you've lucked out. I'll get onto that in a second, Crypto Chronicus. I'm just going to do this because people want to know about arbitrage, and it is a good way to make extra coins. So I'm going to go to markets, and I'm going to look at the PIVX BTC price here. It won't have dumped a lot on my thing alone because I only had 26 coins. And I'm not dumping PIVX. I dumped it to buy more BC to buy more PIVX. It wasn't naughty. Okay, yeah, it's still there, guys. So there's a big buy order of 1,252 PIVX on Cryptopia at the moment for 39,002 Satoshi. Okay, 39,002. So you could buy the PIVX. Sell your PIVX at 39,002, and on PIVX on Bittrex, our main exchange, it's trading at 35,000 Satoshis, guys. So that's actually more than 10%. So anyone who does have PIVX, like enough to make it worthwhile, it would, let's say minimum 10 coins, because you've got to move the coin with Litecoin or Ether still. So don't move it with Bitcoin if you're doing small amounts, but you can go ahead and trade off that, move it to Bittrex, and then buy on Bittrex. Oh, you trade it to Bitcoin, trade your Bitcoin to Litecoin or Ether, move your Litecoin and Ether to Bittrex, trade your Litecoin and Ether back to Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin into PIVX. I know it sounds labor intensive, but if you've got enough PIVX to make it worthwhile, you know, if you had 1,000 PIVX, you are going to make a quick 100 PIVX there. And that's pretty good going. Making a quick 100 PIVX, not bad. So there is a small opportunity there at the moment for those of you who do already have PIVX on the Cryptopia exchange. It's a good thing to keep an eye on, guys, if you've got multiple exchanges going. So sorry to ramble my way through that. Hey, guys, I am going to catch up on the chat in just a second. One thing I just wanted to talk a little bit more is about Bitcoin shorts, because I have put that in the title for this description. Now, for this video, sorry. Bitcoin shorts, what is it? Okay. Essentially, it gives the people ability to lend Bitcoin, sell it off in order to buy it back at a cheaper price. Now, this sort of like shorts do entice institutional money and investors from different ways of thinking. You know, Wilkie loves to throw a short in there every now and again when he's trading. A lot of people are saying this sort of interest in Bitcoin will actually see the price soaring towards $10,000. I'm not trying to spread fear, uncertainty, and doubt. As you guys know, I'm always just voicing what's in my head and my opinion. My personal opinion is that it could also cause an immense amount of Bitcoin to be basically loaned against, sold off to drive down the price in an attempt to manipulate the market. That is possible. So, look, most what I was reading said is a good thing for Bitcoin, a good thing for the economy. Yep, it's great. We just have to wait and see which way it goes. But you know, I think overall it does bring interest. Yeah, it might be short-term losses with someone trying to trade down Bitcoin, but I think long-term, just that general interest in Bitcoin and bringing it more in line with financial markets that people are, you know, old school investors are used to. I think that's not a bad play. So yeah, I think that'll be good long-term. I just want to talk about that quickly. One other thing I'd like to just quickly discuss before we go on to the chat is TenX Pay Token, because it did have a big run up. And we've been calling it for a little while now, saying it's a solid project. Just taking a look now, up 15.5% against BTC. King Crypto saying more thumbs up. Please like it. Yeah, I shouldn't interrupt for that, but yes, please. Okay, so 10x Pay Token. I always feel like a dick doing that. Yeah, it did have a big run up. Me and old Agent Smith were having a chat about where we got some sells on it, because it's responsible. We've talked about this so many times. People come in and talk about, we had a bit of a discussion in our Discord group about Neo getting dumped. And I said, guys, before we go calling it getting dumped, let's have a look at the 7-day. And the 7-day says we're up 24% or 28%. I'm not even in Neo. I'm just saying don't call it a dump, because it takes retracements off a massive parabolic growth. It's expected. And 10x has seen similar sort of action this morning, where it's soared up right up to 29,000 Satoshi, 28,992 just before the psychological resistance. So I hope some of you set your sells there. I didn't get quite that high, but I got some really good sells on it. I was really happy with it. And if you got the sells at 28,992, my highest sell was at 20, let me just double check. My highest sell was at 27,999, and I've bought that back at 23,842, and that's within a couple of hours. That's big swings, and it's allowed me to accumulate even more pay tokens, which I think is a great long-term project. I think under $2 is good buying. It's just dipped below that mark again. I think people are going to see that as good buying long-term. So it's got some sideways movement for the last 2 hours, 3 hours or so, after taking the big run up and then dipping down about half as much. If we apply the Fibonacci sequence, I haven't even done this yet, but let's apply the Fibonacci sequence. What did I just get? No, that's old news. Bittrex does that sometimes. It redisplays your orders. If I did the Fibonacci sequence, I'd say it was fairly stable after the last parabolic at around 23,000. Sorry, stable here. So then it went on a double whoop, whoop. So it was stable at around the 20,000 mark, let's call it, just on rough figures, maybe 20 and a half. But let's just call it 20 for round figures. We go up to 29,000 on that big parabolic growth. That's a growth of 9,000 Satoshi. Using the Fibonacci sequence, we can take back 4,500, which means we start our buying at 24,500. If we've done that, we're not too far off the mark. If, you know, from here, it holds it sideways and then goes up. So it's interesting. Hey, Xiao, you missed everything, man. I'm just full of good news and information and entertainment. So yes, you did miss stuff. Okay, getting back to some of the chat because some people put some stuff in. Dash was tweeting to Bittrex, even they were having problems, perhaps due to the pump. Yeah, probably, man. People looking to get coins out into their, you know, people have got in, they've said, I want a master node and I'm going to run it long term and that's going to be my investment strategy. They want to get that where they've bought it from into their wallet so they can make it a master node. It could be something to do with that, man. Crypto Chronica said, hey, which ICO is the one where it gives people the ability to create their own coins and wallets? I did read it, man. I'm just trying to remember which one it was. No, sorry, not off the top of my head, man. I'll have to look into it. Crypto Chronica said Monets. I can't remember if that was a feature of Monets. The arbitrage on BCH is incredible. Okay, King Crypto. Hey, Fish, I shared a few medium high risk ICOs in the high risk section on Discord. If anything, these are only to be used to gain profits to help accumulate more solid coins like VTC, LTC, etc. Appreciate it, King Crypto. Guys, you've seen what happened with Confido, right? We identified that as high risk, high reward, quick flip. We probably should have had it in the high risk channel, to be honest, but you could have made 27x on that. Now there's been, oh my goodness. For those of you not keeping up with the news on Confido, it looks like they've had a pretty good exit strategy to make a fortune and bail. So I'm sorry to those people who didn't get in the, who drank the Kool-Aid, let's say. You know, when something goes 27x off ICO, sell some of it. At least get your money back. That way you're not part of a pump and dump no matter what. Hit BTC back up and running. Deposits, that is. King Crypto. Also, Sphere is a new decentralized social media platform similar to Steemit, but looks better. I left some info about also about how to claim 100 free tokens they're giving to people who sign up early. Cool, man. Thanks for that. Floyd laughed. I don't know what that was about. This is old comments. I'm just catching up, guys. There has to be something else going on for BTG to be at 141 on Hit BTC and 294 on Bittrex. Not sure. Not sure, Mark. Saw a tweet today that if BTC hits 52K, sorry, if BTC hits 52K, it would be equivalent to Facebook's $520 billion market cap. Yeah, well, I think that's more than likely actually long term. Mark G said, bought some LTC, ETC, Dash last week, feeling good. And we're back to live. Oh, I'm sorry I've been bagging it then, Crypto Chronicus. Crypto Chronicus said, on a side note, I've almost got my initial investment back from BitConnect. It was just an experiment. Sorry for bagging it then, man. Don't worry, Wilkie's all frothing over EtherConnect. All right, let's have a look what's happening in the economy. Let's have I think we've just want to have a quick talk about those 10x gains as well. Oh, we did that, sorry. Just gonna have a quick look again, see if it's holding. Yeah, it looks pretty solid. Go away, Jace. Jace goes, tell us more about this Gladius ICO. Mate, we did the first 10 minutes on that. And we're going to have the Gladius team on our show. How cool is that, by the way? Oh, double cool. Organising the PIVX team to come on the show as well. Speaking to Chad about it. He's pretty excited. So, yeah, it'd be good. Maybe get Grant on. They've done shows together before. Grant, depending on which part of the world you're in. Mimi. That's a pretty cool name, actually. I like that. Mimi. Ethos. I missed it. Hang on, I'm going to find that comment. Ethos is going to be huge, but everyone should check out Internet XT, INXT, sleeper that will be a damn monster in 2018. Let's have a quick look at it for you, Mimi. No worries. I haven't actually looked into its value proposition, man, so I can't comment on it, but what I can do is have a quick look at the basics of it for anyone interested. Now, it's taken a 12.4% retracement in the last 24 hours. Just having a look at the overall, but that's the kind of figures we look for when we're trying to get into a project. Really good sideways movement on it. Really good sideways movement on that chart, Mimi. You know, slow growth pattern, I like it. I like the growth pattern. I can't say I like the project because I haven't actually looked into it, but it's a real low market cap. For those of you interested playing down the lower end of the scale, Internet or INXT, Intern XT is market cap coin of $1.482 million. The volume's at 24,000, which based on those figures is fine in terms of the volume comparison to the actual market cap. The circulating supply is 629,000, so very limited supply. I'd have to have a look more into A, its value proposition, B, whether there's any inflation to come, C, whether it's proof of work, proof of stake, all those sorts of things. But just based on the pure looking at the chart growth and that sort of thing, it looks fine, man. But I'd have to look more into it to actually make a really informed decision. Thanks for bringing that one to our attention. We might take a look at it on a future show. We've got a few piled up to take a look at, though. Okay, what do we got? EOS was proven to be washing their coins. No, don't tell me that, CJ Bacon. I didn't get into it, man, because I heard that theory a long time ago, and that's why I stayed away from them. Let's see how EOS has done on the back of that rumor. And I want to call it a rumor because unless you put a link in showing me some actual information or you say it came from this source, I can only call it a rumor, guys. It's stayed pretty strong on the back of that rumor. It's up, you know, it's still over $2. We were calling it we started looking at it well below $1. I was never calling it, but there were people in our group who were certainly interested. Fish the Beach Bum Investor, it's just people in China dumping Bitcoin Gold, not following what people everywhere else are doing. They were locked out of withdrawing it until today. It's panic. Yeah, the BitConnect, I am like day 100, got my investment back, still got 199 more days of interest plus principal back. Pretty good so far, doing good for throwaway money. Yeah, man, that supply is crazy low, maybe, on that coin we looked at, Internet X, whatever it was. I don't know where it's going, Mark G. Man, predicting price points on these companies is difficult. You've got to find something that provides a similar value addition that has a market cap You've got to try and value the company. You've got to try and value the circulating supply against the total supply. There's a lot to take into account. And you've also, on top of that, you've got to value how quickly the masses will come in and how appealing these projects will be to the masses. If they come in, I'm assuming they will. That's no guarantee. So, man, EOS is not a project I've looked heavily into, so it's difficult for me to give any sort of price prediction on that. But I think a lot of these market caps are low for where we're going to see them. I think a lot of them are really overvalued for their stage of development and their use cases in the economy. So it's tough for me on EOS, man. Yeah, man, we'll check it out for sure. We do investment discussion. We've got a Discord group, so you're welcome to join us over there, and we'll have a look at it as a group and just see what value it brings. It's an interesting one, man. Like obviously the low market cap coins are exciting because they have the potential to do crazy things, basically. Yeah. That's why it is interesting. That's a mistake. I can almost guarantee it. Guys, I'm just having a look at the 24-hour volume on CoinMarketCap, and it's showing us 217 billion. Does anyone feel like they might have that wrong? Hey, in any case, the overall economy is looking really strong, guys. 244 billion as I'm sitting here right now. Provided the information is coming through correct out of CoinMarketCap. This is the first time I've ever seen anything that looks like an error, like a substantial error. Ever since I saw something hit the top 3 or 5 coins, I wrote a statement article about it. It was called TerraCoin, and it hit like a $2 billion valuation and then dropped out of the face of the earth. And I wondered whether that actually ever happened or whether it was just a glitch in CoinMarketCap. In any case, provided the information I'm receiving at the moment is correct, this is all-time highs again for me reporting on this show at $244.6 billion. Bitcoin itself is crushed, like it's crushing it. 8,231, 2.68% gains in the last 24 hours. Mark G said so many coins up in the last 48 hours, and that's what I'm seeing here. Okay, we'll talk about that in a second, man. Let me just run through the market a little bit. Ethereum's just solid, up 3.7%, showing those nice growth patterns. Even Bitcoin Cash has been a winner, up 2.93%. Again, I suggested yesterday that I had friends who are just starting to learn about crypto, and they said, oh, how about Bitcoin Cash? So I said, well, I think there's better options. But, you know, everyone's got to make their own decision. Bitcoin Cash goes to 20 grand and they'll go, you told me it was no good. So you got to be careful about how aggressively you advise against the coin with anyone. Crypto Chronica said it's about to hit $250 billion. That's a very good point. Billion would put us to that $250 billion mark. I started getting into the economy at 76 billion, I think I was in. Maybe even a little lower, 70 odd billion dollars I started investing. So yeah, I could have pretty much thrown a dart and won, right? Litecoins, steady growth pattern, guys. You know, I like this. Little chips away, $72.50. Up 0.7% just in the last 24 hours alone. IOTA, my goodness, Wilkie, you are buying me not only a boat now, but an island to park the boat on. I'm serious. So, Wilkie, you owe me a boat and an island now because IOTA is at 96 cents. And it's up 11% in the last 24 hours. Jay said it's pronounced Bitcoin trash. Don't be rude. All right. Let's have a look. Neo down 10%, guys. You've got to expect that with those retracements. Hey, that ratio I spoke about of 10 to 1 of Neo to Ethereum is bang right on there at the moment. So if I see further retracements, if I saw another 10% out of Neo, I'd be getting in based on the fact that I don't think Ethereum's going back down to 330. So that would set me up nicely for this ICO next week. Mark G said LTC 2x by Christmas. Mark G, you are dreaming. It's a month, mate. I don't know, maybe. In this economy, I wouldn't bet back against it. Let's put it that way. I certainly wouldn't be investing anticipating that sort of growth, though. Oh, man, Monero continues from strength to strength. Everything. Pick a coin, guys. There's not much in the red today. Really good-looking chart. List jumped up over that $10 mark, retraced a little bit, but still quite strong. Good to see you, Joe. Yeah, the chat's going ham, man. Everyone's pretty keen on everything at the moment because it's all in the green, right? It's days like this where everyone's pretty happy. I must go above 8 again. We said yesterday it might act as support. So it did. I got back above that figure. Oh, BitShares, boom. BitShares is I think it's the fastest crypto actually in the economy. 23% up. Looking strong. Decentralized exchange. We called that being a big growth market for 2018. So, woo, anyone who's on BitShares has done really well. Komodo's really nice, $2.38. I've been picking up little bits all the way around $2 mark and end up, so I've done quite well there. Lots of good things happening, guys. One of the big ones, let's talk TenX. We did a little bit already. Sitting under that $2 mark now at $1.97. Power Ledger, massive gainer. Fish made like $6 on his $20 investment. It actually got up to more than that at one stage. So, yeah, but Power Ledger's at 57 cents. Aussie project. I haven't looked too much into it yet. Salt was one that I saw getting a little cheap. I set some buy orders on that. I think those residual income coins are going to do well over 2018, and Salt to me provides a pretty solid lending platform as opposed to some of the other lending platforms that don't have as such a solid structure, in my opinion. Yeah, I know Crypto Chronicus, but I've spoken about this before. Crypto Chronicus said, yeah, man, it's unfortunate my friends don't understand any of this. I wish they could take this ride like we do. Yeah, I get it, man, but we take the bad days as well. Some people are happy with consistency. Some people are happy with stability. Some people are happy making their 3% interest in the bank every year, and that's all they need. Some people are happy paying off 20% loans on cars, you know. Everyone's a little bit different, man, but the point is that a lot of people are just comfortable. They get into comfort zone and they're happy there and they don't want things to change. They don't want to move. They're happy. That's fine. I get restless. So for me, this is awesome. It's not for everyone. Not everyone's built for this. That's for sure. Take massive runs down. You look at 10x. I mean, I'm cheering because I bought it at $1.50. What about the people who bought it $4? They're still going, oh, shit, we've got a way to go yet. So yeah, I get what you're saying, man. But really, like, if any of you are getting friends into the crypto economy, you've got to be careful. You've got to show some responsibility because unless you're a financial advisor, and honestly, I don't think anyone's qualified to be a financial advisor in the crypto economy at this point. I think it's far too volatile a market, and anyone who calls themselves an expert on the entire crypto economy is kidding themselves at this stage. The things that drive this economy are not normal market action. So, yeah, I think all you can do is do your research, make your decisions, invest in companies that you believe in. Let's have a look. Yeah, and also when you're getting friends in, you just need to be cautious on who you're getting in. No, like some people have a temperament for this sort of high volatility investment. Some people don't. They panic and rush and carry on. And you got to be thinking slow, moving quick and thinking slow in this economy. If that makes any sense, you've really got to consider your decisions. And then when you're ready to pull the trigger, pull that bloody trigger because it moves quick, whether it be a buy or a sell. And almost pre-plan it. That's what I do with my buy and sells. It's basically like storage on the blockchain. Dude, it is a 20-year-old buck that was on Forbes magazine, 30 under 30, that plans to massively undercut SIA, etc. Oh, cool, man. Yeah, no, I've actually, Mimi's referring back to Internet XT. And for those of you interested in having Intern XT, So for those of you interested in having a look at it, the website, you can link to it through CoinMarketCap as you can with all these cryptos, or you can just Meme's just put the website up there. So it's internxt.io. Interesting, man. I like looking into the teams onto it. But the other thing that interests me about that, Meme, is that I heard Vitalik speaking about how this sort of use for the blockchain is underutilized at the moment, the storage side, storage on the blockchain. So Vitalik himself has identified as a need for that, and that's why I saw Seacoin as a good long-term holder. I haven't talked about that one much, actually. I only hold a little bit these days because it's not something I'm super interested in. It's kind of yawn stuff for me. I know it's important, but it's yawn stuff, so hard for me to keep on track of. Yeah, maybe we'll take a look. Good on you. That's pretty good advice, CryptoChronicus. CryptoChronicus says, I tell him to hodl 90% BTC and 10% play expecting to lose and learn something. Yeah, man, like even when Wilkie got in, like Wilkie has decent amounts of capital, and when he got in, his first couple of days his first couple of weeks was for $500 total. And for those of you who know how much Wilkie will just dump into investments, that's scraps for him. So even he didn't panic. He didn't see things going up all over the place and pump everything he could into the crypto economy. He learned some lessons first, and he actually did very well from the start. But point is, he didn't up the ante until he knew what he was doing, and that's good advice. No, you can't day trade unless you're prepared to do it 24/7 in this economy, CryptoChronicus. And have patience, exactly. Paul Carter, welcome. Cannot lead a horse to water. That's it, man. Oh, yeah, Jace, actually, that's a good point. The saying is actually you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Good point, man. I could never lead the horse to water as well. The one time I went horse riding, I almost got bucked off the thing. And literally I had someone leading it. So I'm not a good horse rider or good with horses. I'd rather go out and try and swim with dolphins. Mark G, Chronicus, good advice, but the big game, the big gains are going to be in alts, but you have to scalp your profits. Joe said he doesn't look at the chart too much. He just buys and sells at resistance. It's a pretty simple way of doing it. It's pretty similar to what I do, Joe. I don't go too heavy on the TA, man. I know that if I make 5% gains here, I'll set a sell. And if it's hitting standard points of resistance there, yeah, it's a no-brainer. You guys remember when before Bitcoin ran up and PIVX was battling that 89,000, 90,000 resistance. Every time it spiked up to there, it sold back off again. So it became a bit of a no-brainer at that point. You got to look for those trends that do develop, and when coins find a range, that's your time to trade, not when it's moving all over the place and parabolic dips. I just, unless you know the range of the coin very well, wait for it to find its new range, especially after parabolic growth. After parabolic growth, the best advice I can give you, unless you're doing the Fibonacci sequence, is wait for it to find a little bit of a range or at least some sideways movement. Yeah, EOS 4X in the last 2 weeks, man. That's a good point. So is Chaincoin, though. Hey, can we talk about Chaincoin? Why not? There's a bit of a social experiment going on there again. I'm not going to call it anything other than that because I haven't seen any additional development work come out to get me excited to the point of the price going from 12 cents to 39 cents in such a small space of time. The only thing I can put this down to is that there is an attempt to resurge the HODL group for Chaincoin, led by Max Lee and now assisted by at least the news unit, but I'm not sure who else. And I wish them all the best with an ambitious social experiment. I'm holding 2,000 coins. I hope you make me rich. But I'm telling you now that that's high risk, high reward. I'm just going to put it in the high risk category because I need to see more use cases. I need to see it being used and accepted in stores. I need to see it with more development work for me to be giving it the valuations it's getting at the moment. BB Junkies after Cheetah Coin will be coming soon, man. Don't worry about it. Agent Smith is all over it. That's why he's not in the chat. That's pretty cool. I like that, Mimi. That's a really cool initiative, man. I might do some similar stuff with PIVX. I don't know if you know, bro, because I had the hat backwards, but I work for PIVX. So for me, that's a really good way to spread that PIVX out there. We've got our iOS wallet coming out as well. I'm just going to read the comment that I'm responding to, but Mimi said, with Christmas coming, I'm giving everyone on the list, on my Christmas list, that is, $50 worth of Bitcoin on Coinbase as a way to introduce them to crypto without, without skeeving them out and pressuring them. I really like that, man. He said, my list is small, though, so it's not going to cost me a lot. I like that. I might do the same with PIVX. I might give some PIVX gifts away. I've already done that a little bit with our investment group. I gave 2 PIVX to Agent Smith, and he sold it and put it into Ripple. So I don't know about doing that again, but to my friends and family, they'll be better to me than Agent Smith was. Oh, you got some PIVX, Mimi. Cool, man. Sweet. Yeah, well, thanks for putting up with us. I know we've had some wallet dramas recently. The devs have been working overtime. See, yes, dancing. Catch you guys later. The devs have been working overtime, dude. Like, they have literally been pulling mad shifts. So Zero Coin Protocol has been difficult for us. We're overcoming the last of those speed bumps now. So thanks for sticking with us and holding on to that PIVX, dude. Appreciate it on behalf of all the people working at PIVX. Thanks a lot, dude. We're going to have the team on our show here soon. So if you've got any questions as a PIVX investor, we'd be more than happy to answer. I'll wait until the whole group comes on because we'll have some people who are much more familiar with certain aspects of PIVX than I am. We can't all be experts in every single part of PIVX. It doesn't work like that. Oh, that's a pretty cool idea as well. Jiao said if you're doing Christmas gifts, why not do a paper wallet or send paper PIV? And you can send it, as the greeting card. That's actually a really cool idea as well. I want to get people to get their PIVX wallets open though, We got the iOS release coming out towards the end of the year. Hopefully that'll be before Christmas, and that way I can actually send people who've got Android or iOS some PIVX, and they can just have it on their phone. They don't even need to download the core wallet. I'm okay if they don't stake 2 PIVX, that's fine. Or 3 or 5, or however generous I'm feeling. But I think I did it with someone with Litecoin. A friend of mine, I sent $1 of Litecoin back in the day. I said, just hold on to this and see what happens with it. And that'd be $2 easy now. I sent it, just under $2. So yeah, it's a good way of showing people the returns they can get as well. If you put $50 of Bitcoin in and they see it going to 52 and 55, and you go, holy hell, they do the maths in their head and go, imagine if I had 5,000 in there, I would have made $500. So it's a good way, man. You just got to be, I think it's important to explain to people that it is emerging technology. It's super volatile, and what you're investing is venture capital. And if you make those things clear to people and say, look, invest as much as you would lose on a pokey or as much as you would put into a horse race, that's a good way to think about it. Crypto Chronicus gives out like $1 worth of LTC 3 times a day. See, that's where Bitcoin's suffering at the moment. For me to give away $1 of Bitcoin costs me $5. I can't do that. Can't justify that. I can justify that with PIVX. It costs me 0.001%. I can justify it with Litecoin costing me next to nothing. I just did arbitrage before and it cost me bugger all to move the Litecoin. I'm sorry if that's an offensive term, by the way, in the rest of the world. Bugger's a common phrase in Australia, and it's only pseudo-offensive at the worst. It's actually on TV commercials and things like that in Australia. So I'm sorry if I've offended anyone with that language. But yeah, Ethereum's the same, like what, 0.1%. I invested a stack of Ether into that Gladius on behalf of all of us yesterday, and I'm like, I'm going to have to pull it back to 1.5 for my own investment just to make sure we've got enough to cover the gas and all that, because I wasn't so confident on the calculations there, so I left plenty Ether in there to cover it. And yeah, it costs nothing. I think the investment cost like 60 cents, the transaction. Oh, by the way, guys, for the 10 people who did or 10 or 12 people, well, I think it's 12 people who invested in Gladius to get us to that market soft cap. You guys owe me 5 cents each because I had to pay the transaction fee. So I'll put my Ether address up, and you guys can send me 5 cents each. That'd be appreciated. Thank you. Joking, of course. Mark G in with the Leafs update as usual. Surf reports, ice hockey reports. We get everything on this channel. For those interested, by the way, surf was pumping yesterday. Mark G, Leafs down 2-1 with 14 minutes left in the third. Go Leafs, go. Giving Tree, whoa, that's a cool name. Let's have a look at that one. Giving Tree Cultivator. Can't actually load the cards because it requires a money transmitter's license, like banking license, but it's a secure plastic card wallet. Ian said, thanks for the help yesterday, man. My pleasure. Thanks for getting him on the group. Good to see you. Mark, sorry, Ian's around the Goldie in Brisbane at the moment. I'm going to try and catch up with him. Ian, I checked out your website stuff, man. Really interesting. I liked it. I'd be happy to have a discussion about that on the show. I think it's good lessons to be learned there for people. So hit me up about that, man. We could always get you on for a chat on the show or something like that. Mark G's going to send me one body surf coin, BSF. 60 cents to over 18K, that's a bargain. Yeah, exactly. That's why the crypto economy is so good, BB. Like, what would your brokerage be on a $20,000 investment into an IPO? I can't even remember the name of the old investment ways now. The IPO. It's going to be significant quite often. You know, it's not a bad idea making Bitcoin greeting cards with actual, well, not Bitcoin, but I might do PIVX greeting cards for Christmas with PIVX printed on them. I think I'm going to do that. Could even sell the PIVX greeting cards. People who want to send it out and get people into crypto. And it's cool. Yeah, no, the fees of sending are brilliant. I don't think we necessarily need to focus too heavily on whether it's 2 cents or 1 cent or half cent. I mean, guys, it's just a better option. I was thinking yesterday, like, what happened to me, the reason I was a little short in and put 1.5 Ether in instead of 2 into this investment is because I went to move my Ether off my Binance exchange and I had major problems with the two-factor authentication. I'm sure it's my fault. I'll contact Binance about that. But that left me a little bit short, but it was just so cheap to move it from all the other exchanges onto my Ether wallet and make the investment. And it was really, really simple too. I think Ether and Litecoin are doing quite well. But yeah, even in the end, I had to just trade a little Litecoin over to Ether I used Shapeshift because you can just get a pretty good exchange rate straight away, and did that. It was good. Mimi said somebody needs to come out with a beer coin. I wouldn't be surprised to see it happen. Something trading like craft beer market's quite big. My brother's actually in marketing for Lion Nathan. Lion Nathan are one of the, if not the biggest distributors of alcohol in Australia. And I can see a use case for trading home brew, something like that. It's possible, man, but the question is, does it really need to be done above and beyond the crypto itself? But interestingly enough, there was about 2 years ago, and I'm not sure if it still actually happens, but in Australia, it was maybe 2 to 3 years ago, a beer market actually opened up, meaning tradies or people would say, yeah, I'll do that job for a carton, I'll do that job for a 6-pack, I'll do that job for 5 cartons. And people were actually trading beer for work. That opened up 3 to 5 years ago. I want to say 3 years ago in Australia. And that just proves like the philosophy that anything can act as value, anything can be used as currency, as long as we all accept, as long as the people transacting in it accept it as having value in it and as a currency, it can be used as a currency. Bitcoin would do well in Canada, said Mark G. Yeah, man, they'd be beer fans. I had one over there when I was living in, not living in Whistler. I pretty much lived there because I went for a week and stayed for a month. My brother was living in Whistler and I had winter ale, and it was like this really nice beer with chocolate aftertones. It was quite nice on a frosty Whistler day. Oh, you're in Georgia, Mimi? Cool. Jao keeps flogging Banana Coin. I haven't even seen it. I think he's just making stuff up. Yeah, that's the same. And that's true for everything, Mimi. Mimi said, what's the old saying? Something is worth whatever other people are willing to pay for it. That's so true. And, you know, a lot of people will use the Dutch tulip trading of the 1700s, I think. I can't remember when it was, a long time ago, where tulip bulbs traded for a ridiculous amount. In fact, black tulip bulbs were seen as the real sought after tulip, and funnily enough, it was a disease that caused the blackening of the actual flower. So it's pretty funny. Like, but people were paying like I don't know, a year's wage. There were futures markets on tulip bulbs, everything. But people use that as an example of hyperinflation as well, and you know, it's an example given to traders of parabolic growth as well. Okay, Jao's being serious. There is a banana coin ICO. Love to know what its value proposition is, mate. But Jao, you won't know this probably, being from Portugal. But mate, Queenslanders are known as banana benders. That's what we're known as. We grow a lot of bananas in Queensland. Tropical climate, good for growing bananas. So maybe I should look into banana coin. You know, actually it's funny, during a cyclone, I can't remember what the cyclone was called, and I'm sorry to the people in North Queensland for forgetting this, but the cyclone wiped out a massive percentage of the banana fields in Queensland. And during that time, the banana price went to $14 a kilo for bananas. And there were literally banana farmers taking truckloads of bananas to Sydney, but they were using armoured vehicles because a truckload of bananas was worth so much. Crazy. Yasi, that was it. Thanks, Jace. I think it was Yasi that knocked out all the bananas. I'm not sure that he invented gravity, Mimi. Mimi said, I think Newton actually went broke on the tulip bulb thing. Newton, the dude that invented gravity. Yeah, I'm not sure that he invented gravity. He proposed the reality is that he didn't actually describe gravity correctly anyway. He described gravity as a force that is actually, you know, that's pulling towards the ground. It's actually being pushed. That's the effect of gravity. Anyway. Oh yeah, cool. Zhao just said inland in Portugal, there's a place named Madeira. I'm sorry if I've got that wrong, Zhao. Madeira is very popular in banana production. Land of Cristiano Ronaldo. Who's Cristiano Ronaldo? No, I'm just kidding. I might not be a huge football fan, but I know who Cristiano Ronaldo is. Giving a tree cultivator said, Verge way down, plummeted past 15 days and was already low. Yeah, I like Verge, man. It's a good, solid, anonymous currency. I think it'll be fine long term. They continue to tick off development targets. They're continuing to actively develop the community and the coin with solid features. I think it's fine. Isaac Newton, he theorized it. Yeah, that's right, man. Yeah, it was the apple falling off the tree. A lot of people say it fell on his head, but I think that's been like, you know, almost made better for storytelling. Hyperbolized. Yeah, going back to Verge, Verge is way down. That's one that I'm holding. Not a huge bag of. I got good sells on it up when it was like 0.75%. I'm going to check the price for you now, man. We'll have a look and see how Verge is sitting. It's one that Ethercep's actually doing some work in the community with Verge. He's one of the guys in our investment group. Yeah, it's dropped back down towards 0.5%, 0.57%, down 6% in the last 24 hours. Those are the things you look for, you know. If you like the project and you're confident in it, You look for those retracements and those guys. It's you all know the saying: buy low and sell high. Everybody knows that saying. So if something's low, if there's no news to come out that say, oh no, Verge being hacked and the developers are running off with the money to an island in Greece or something like that. If there's no news coming out like that, it can simply be people like Agent Smith who just get bored with not seeing enough returns quick enough and start moving, and natural flow of the market as well. So when people are fudding, it's a good time to actually be buying if you believe in the project, if you pick the right project. All right, I think we've had a good crypto chat for the day. I'm going to do a quick update of the economy before I leave. When we did this update, it was 244. I think it's going to be roughly the same. It looks pretty steady at the moment. $8.2 billion of volume. So thank you, CoinMarketCap, for sorting out that volume issue. Yeah, 244, 8.2 volume. So nice volume. Not up to those 14 billion marks we saw last week. But it's early in the week. We'll see what happens. All looking pretty steady, guys. Good green figures across the top of the board. Mixed in with a few red in between for some good value hunting. Yeah, Joe said, Verge is not the right project, though. Hashtag PIVX. Hey, I like both, but PIVX definitely, man. Proof of stake points gotten too low under $3, guys. Definitely too low under $3, in my opinion. We've been talking a lot about ease of use in the community as well, and about how we're going to achieve that, but we're just our devs have been working flat out to achieve zero coin protocol implementation. So we do have to focus on that, and then hopefully we can move on to some other exciting projects in PIVX, including obviously the iOS wallet release by the end of the year, and working on easy use. So let's hope we can tick those development targets off. Yeah, exactly. Buy low and sell high. Blash it is what Giving Tree Cultivator said. Like 10x, exactly, man. So I said it. I did my arrogant little, I got it at $1.50. You guys will all say, did you really get it at $1.50? I've done that with 10x. It was too cheap. I still think it's too cheap. $3.50 sells in like a week. Yeah, I'm a little down on trading action actually with the Bitcoin run up as well, Joe, because I've hit a lot of my orders now. Now I'm waiting to sell on the run up. But my US dollar value looks solid, man. My US dollar value looks really good. I'm happy with the projects I've chosen and all that sort of thing. So, and I'm doing real well on that Binance referral program. And by the way, the link is in this description again. I am doing well on that though. I'm making good money on that. I'm able to put that into some other interesting projects. So all in all, I'm doing pretty well. 21 million club, g'day, but you are late. Well, you're not late. I mean, everyone's on their own time, but I'm about to check out, bro. I've been on for an hour and people get sick of me and I get sick of hearing my own voice. I'm going to make some videos today too, guys. I already started making the Litecoin trading video, so I'll give you some training on doing Litecoin trades. The biggest advice I can give you guys is at the moment that little PIVX arbitrage tip that I gave you at the start of the show. Check that out if you do have some PIVX on Cryptopia, but because by doing the arbitrage, you'll actually be able to accumulate more PIVX, which is cool. Make sure that there is a risk involved with that, guys, as well. The PIVX price on Bittrex could skip up 10% in 10 minutes, and then that opportunity is gone. So there is risk involved. It's not a dead certainty. You do have to, be careful in doing it and assume that risk. Anyway, good to have you all in for the crypto discussion again for today. I'm going to check out. Mimi said maybe we all wake up rich tomorrow. That would be awesome. Awesome sauce, sorry. Cool. Awesome sauce. Cheers. Make sure when you arbitrage, guys, you take the fees into consideration. Yeah, very good point, Jace. You've got to take your trade fees on both exchanges into account, and also the cost of moving the actual currency through the economy between exchanges. Great advice from Jace there. Giving Tree Cultivators just asked the best way to get notified when I'm going onto a live stream. I believe if you subscribe You can also hit the little bell and they will give you a notification. But I come on at 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time every single day, which is an hour, or it's actually an hour and 20 minutes before this time right now. So whatever time it is where you are right now, take off an hour and 20 minutes, and that's what time we start each day, Giving Tree Cultivator. Good to have a couple of newbies in for the discussion as always. Thanks very much, as always, to the regular Crypto Wave investment crew. Really proud of you guys for all getting behind each other. We've got a great investment, I think, on that Gladius ICO. We're going to have the team come on. So get your questions ready for the Gladius team. Let's put them under the pump and see how they perform under pressure, since we've stacked a shitload of money into them. All right, guys, it's been fun. Peace out. Good to see you all. And, oh, man, this was actually, no, Google Hangouts. There you go, Grinkers. I know you love this part of the show. Fish mucking around with technology. Catch you guys tomorrow. See ya.